What's up everyone? Today I'm going to show you how to rig up the Jika rig in 3 different ways. You don't have to buy pre-made Jika rigs. Owner makes a great one, but you know what? It could be a lot more cheaper if you make your own. Before we jump into how to make the Jika rig, I'm going to say a couple things. I'm sharing with you guys my experience. The Jika rig's been out for so long. I would say more than 10 years likely. Definitely way before the Tokyo rig. People start recognizing the Jika rig after the Tokyo rig. The Tokyo rig blew up for some odd reason, maybe because the aging of social media and how social media nowadays can blow up a specific rig. But the Jika rig's been out for so long and it's been very, very successful for me. And lately, I have been using Jika rig with Z-Man products specifically for Ned rigging. I replaced Ned rig, although this is a great way to catch fish. Ned rig on an open jig head, the mushroom jig head, you get great hookup ratio, but sometimes you get snagged. Let's take a look at the Jika rig itself and how it looks like. So obviously you have a hook, and I like to use, and most of Jika rig in fact uses a type of worm hook, a Texas rig style hook. And right now I have the G-Lock worm from Gamakatsu 3/0, but you guys need to pick the size that you guys need for your specific application. And the structure of the Jika rig is basically your hook, something to hold the weight and hook together. And in this instance, this is what you typically do see, and when you buy them, it's either in some sort of ring or a split ring. So what you would do, you actually tie your line here on the split ring, in between the weight and the hook. The weight gonna be at the bottom, and right here I have a tungsten Dropshot weight, and this is a casting style. You see it's an open style, round end, right? Round eyelet is not one of those. In fact, I have it on the side here. I'll show you very quick. It's not one of these drop shot weights where you actually pinch onto the line, okay? It's the ones, as you see here, the casting style. But anyway, the weight will go down, and the lure, especially with some plastic like the Z-Man plastic where it floats, and it actually basically floats. Technically replacing the Ned rig, and it's weedless. And guys, weedless does not mean weed free. I think the term weedless actually replaced the word less weeds. It sounds a lot easier and much more flowier, but yeah, snag less, snag proof, you know. I think let's just bust that out right now. This is not snag proof. This is not weed proof. It's less weeds, less snags. And when you actually yank this, it actually goes pretty natural. It actually flows pretty natural. And if you guys use creature baits, crawls, you'll notice that when you pull this, it kind of do look like a crayfish bouncing off the bottom. Whereas if you have the Ned rig, when you actually yank it, this thing just flops down very hard. Of course, the jig head gives it a lot more motion, like direct motion, because it's directly onto the hook and eye. Whereas this guy here, it free swings. So you pull, and it actually goes down and comes back up. 2 benefits of throwing a Jika rig. One is because the way that you tie this, you actually tie it on this ring, right? You don't tie it on the eye of the hook. And when you cast this, what happened is because the weight is much heavier and it's denser and it's smaller, compact, this guy actually flies out first, going this way, okay? So this actually drags the rest of it, including the line, so it allows you to cast a lot further and more accurate. And that's why some people also use this. They use heavier weights and they use it as punching, because they could actually throw into the weeds, open spots, and actually goes down first, pulling through to the bottom. Let's compare it to, let's say, a Texas rig or a jig head. When you actually cast this out, the line's here. Obviously, the weight is still the heaviest, so it's trying to fly out this way. But because you have the lure and everything, actually impedes in its casting direction. So it actually casts a little less distance, and depending on your bulk of your plastic, it might not even be accurate. This whole thing prevents it all. This is the magic rig. All right, enough talking about the Jika rig. Let's talk about how to make them. Obviously, the first one you see here is with the split ring. That is the easiest to make. And all you do is just get some split rings, your hook, your weight, and just go to town and put them together. It doesn't matter how you put it together, because you could just rotate this around wherever you want. And the most important thing is you need to tie it again in between the weight and the hook, where the hook is actually facing upwards right here. You don't want to tie it on the wrong way because when you do, you'll be probably snagging. The next way to make it is actually even easier and cheaper way is to use these snaps here. Okay, and installing this is very important that you put the weight in first, then you put the hook facing up and snap it together. Else, you put it in a different direction, you may end up snagging as well. So I'm gonna let you guys soak up this formula right here. Again, you open the clip, you put the weight in first, then you put on the hook facing upwards. So at the bottom, going up, okay? Very easy, and I like this a lot because you could basically not put them together and just have a terminal tackle box sitting there very, very well organized. Whereas if you do this right here, you have to put them together and you probably put them together in different hook size, you put them by different weights versus, you know, you have everything in the box, you grab the specific hook you want, you grab the specific weight you want, put them together within a matter of seconds. This is actually my favorite way to do it, but I still think this way here is the strongest because this split ring or whatever split ring you guys use likely would be stronger than this snap here. But for me, when I'm fishing the Jika rig, it's always finesse style, so I'm always using lighter line, lighter tackle, so it doesn't really matter for me. But if you guys using heavy duty stuff, when you guys try to punch into some mats, you guys want to use heavier stuff, you want to use something like a split ring, okay? So let's put this back down. And the last one, it's very interesting, and you don't use any other things other than your hook, your weight, and your fishing line, and all you do is tie a loop knot. And I have the Craze loop knot, which I can show you guys how to tie right now. So I got some leader material here of just 30-pound stuff. It makes it easy to show up on video. And Craze loop knot is very simple. All you do is first you tie a knot as so, okay, onto your line. Then what you want to do is you want to insert your weight first, just like the snap, and then you followed by the hook. And again, you want to go from bottom up, just like that. And the next thing you want to do is you want to get that loop in there very small. Okay. From there, you want to stick the line back into the loop. And what you want to do is when you pull the main line, that circle is going to get small. The first circle you created, that's the knot, okay? And then the tag end is actually the loop that you're going to create. What I like to do is actually pull the line all the way so your hooks is actually touching the loop here, the knot. And the knot, the size I want to have is about twice the size of your eye of your hook, okay? So let's tighten that down again. And then, voila. So the next thing you want to do is take your tag end, wrap it around 5 times of the main line, and then take your tag end, put it through that first knot that you created. And as you tighten this, you'll notice, and you gotta wet your line, I'm not wetting it for this video's sake, is that you see the loop disappears, the knot disappears, it tightens, and then your loop is actually formed, okay? The Craze loop. And then, let's trim off this guy, and let me show you, and then let's cut off this right here. There you have it. See that? Jika rig without a split ring or a snap. And I actually done this a few times when I actually don't have the hardware, and it paid off. Quite frankly, I was in Hawaii. I had one Jika rig that I brought with me. I actually left one in the hotel and only had one Jika rig, and I caught a lot of bass with it. And you guys can see the video right here that I'll show on the overlay that I caught a very nice smallie in one of the streams that I was fishing. But eventually, I did snag that Jika rig, and I was like, man, I gotta go back to the hotel and get my other Jika rig, but I was like, wait a sec, I could actually make this myself. And I just pulled out one of my weights that I have. I actually did some MacGyver stuff, which I'm not gonna show because it was pretty disgusting looking, but it worked and I was catching smallies again. So guys, these are 3 ways on how you could do the Jika rig. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, which one's your favorite. And if you guys have success in fishing a Jika rig, what's your favorite plastic to use for the Jika rig? And if you guys are Ned rig fans, give the Jika rig a try. Let me know how you guys do, and maybe you catch a lot more fish using this rig. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, tight lines, the fish don't wait. Get out there, catch some fish using the Jika.